Hello, brothers and sisters and brothers. It's your girl, SistaTV, and I just finished watching the game. Now, listen, I have not been excited about the game at all because BET is whack. I have a coonery block installed on my phone, excuse me, on my remote, so I don't even get BET. So when they said the game was coming on BET, it was very difficult for me to figure out what channel it was on because I don't, Tiny and Toya, Frankie and Neffy, Boo Boo and the Fool, I don't do it. I just don't do it. And the first 4 episodes, I say 3 episodes, the last week's was decent, have been garbage. The first night, the premiere, me and my husband loved the game and we were ready and we were watching it and we both just sat there like this because it was so bad. The acting was off, the stories was whack, everything was terrible. But let me tell you, this week they almost got me back. I watched it and I actually laughed and I enjoyed myself watching it. I'm not even gonna front. It was still a little ghetto, still a little bit off, but it was way better than before. So bump all that extra stuff. Let's recap it. Okay, so first we start off, and this is the thing about the game that I don't really like now. It's like, can Melanie, Kelly, and Tasha do anything besides sit around and get drunk? Or like their relationship and the timing for them is all off. So Melanie and Tasha and them are sitting around getting drunk, and then Melanie is talking about how hard it is now that she went and messed up and swabbed little DJ, and now Derwin has to go to court every day for hours on end. And they're all talking about how difficult that is. And she's like, I just don't understand why Janae is such a busy. But then we cut to the next scene. Oh, she says she don't understand why Janae is making Derwin jump through so many hoops. We cut to the next one, and lo and behold, Derwin is literally jumping through hoops because he is at Janae's house in a little bitty swimsuit, and she's in an equally little bitty swimsuit, and they all playing in the pool with a hula hoop, enjoying themselves and playing Little Happy Family. And Melanie thinks he's at the courthouse. He done lost his mother sucking mind. Y'all, it's drama. Why would Derwin? Okay, anyway. So then Derwin comes home and he done changed out the swimsuit, is wearing a full suit, and begins to tell Melanie how hard it was for him at the courthouse and how Janae's so tough. And then Melanie was like, well, I just really hope that maybe you could get Janae and the court to please let us be able to take DJ to go see to Disney World to go see Mickey Mouse or whatever. And Derwin was like, well, I don't know. I'm just going to have to ask Janae because you know how Janae is. She's real difficult. But he was just all up in Janae's pool, happy and clapping it up with her. But now he's telling his wife that Janae's a real beastie and she done had him in court, lying like an idiot. So then we're back, Lord, and this part I cannot deal with. I don't know why. Who at BET thinks that Terrence J is equal to Rick Fox? Have you ever seen Rick Fox? That fool is fine. And Terrence J ain't. I just don't why they took him from one old slave plantation to be all up on the game. Like, if Tasha was gonna have her little hot tender roll, they could have got somebody better. But then again, it is BT, so I'm just thankful that it wasn't like Soldier Boy, or Little Bow Wow, or who the fool who sing that, or God forbid, the one who sing the black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. I can't rap. Yeah, him. One of them fools. I'm just whatever. So Terrence J came, and every other time he's been on my TV so far, I have thrown something at it because there's no reason for that fool to be on my television. But this time I didn't hate him. Him and Tasha are sitting down having dinner. And I do not like what they're doing with Tasha's character at all this season. She is nothing but overly obnoxious. I hate to say ghetto because it's just so over, but that's really what they do. And they had her smoking a black and mild the first episode, but this time her big thing is being so happy to be hood rich. Terrence J, I don't even know what his real name on the program is. Terrence J told Tasha they've been eating out steak and turf and surfing turf every day, and Tasha don't even eat the steak. She just says she liked the steak. She's like, I'm a baller. I like to ball. How you gonna be counting my money? And then they have a big old fight, and then Tasha I just don't know any woman who, she's a manager. She understands about publicity and people's images, but she's sitting at a restaurant hollering in her base, I'm a baller, I ball. Now you understand, I do what I want to do, I ball by myself. Da, 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 da. It was just very tacky, very angry black woman, very stereotypical, but we're on BET, so we were all at home, weren't we? So now Derwin's still at the house with the baby mama playing house, and it's unacceptable, especially because he's over there cooking and hanging out. In what world is it okay for you to be at your baby mama's house and not let your wife know? And then Derwin finally breaks down and he asks Janae, can they take DJ? And I don't know why they insist on putting them baby in jail cornrows. They need to do something about the hair because, child. Anyway, so he asked Janae when she finished putting them jail cornrows in the baby's hair, would he be able to take him to Disney World? And she was like, well, I don't want to have him around the DNA police or whatever, because Melanie DNA tested the child on the slide. And so then she started talking crazy about Melanie. And that's her husband. So he's going to defend his wife, right? Derwin plays Melanie off for the full. First of all, he says, oh no, Melanie's not coming. She's going to a medical convention. Jay's like, well, she's not even a doctor. And then he was like, oh no, she's a doctor. But then Melanie was like, oh no. Janae says, are you defending her to me in my own house? First of all, that's his wife, ho. Of course he's defending her. But of course, this fool, Derwin, backs down. He's like, yeah, Melanie ain't no real doctor. She's stupid. She my wife. I'm going to front her off. Foolish. So that's like another day, and Derwin goes to TT's wing truck, and he goes to order Janae lunch. He didn't buy Melanie lunch, but he bought Janae lunch. And TT figures out who he's getting the food for and calls him out on it and says, what are you doing? Why don't Melanie know about your little lunch or whatever? For Janae, he's like, oh, don't make it a big deal. I'm just buying my baby mama lunch. If you're just buying your baby mama lunch, then why can't you tell your wife what you're doing, fool? But he's lying over and over again. Meanwhile, again, Melanie, Kelly, and Tasha are together drinking again, but they're at lunch or something. So they're at lunch, and Derwin calls, or no, Melanie calls Derwin for something, and Derwin gives her all these things to do. Like he got her running all over behind. She's like, yes, babe, I'll do anything, whatever you want. Yes, 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 because she still feel bad for swabbing the baby and being all that drama. So then Tasha calls her out on that, and she didn't like it. Then meanwhile, while they having a little argument, here comes Janae with her little ghetto friend. I'm not gonna call her friend ghetto. Here comes Janae and her friend. They come in, and Tasha's like, Melanie's like, oh my God, I don't want to see Janae. And now Tasha was supposed to be Melanie's girl. Instead of saying, my girl don't want to see this woman who's supposedly putting my husband in a court and through the ringer and all this stuff, and we had all this drama. Tasha gonna be like, hey Janae, it just wouldn't happen. What kind of girlfriend you got that calling out your enemy over to you when you got problems? Anyway, so then Melanie go over there and try to talk to Janae, and then of course, they get into it or whatever. Now Melanie still don't know that Derwin and Janae have never been to the courthouse or whatever. So they start getting into it, and then Melanie's like, well, why do you have my husband at the courthouse all the time? And Janae was like, we have never seen the inside of the courthouse. We've been at my house, kicking it, enjoying it, playing house, playing with our baby, enjoying life. Don't you know where your husband is at? She treated poor Melanie, and Melanie was going to get treated because she has no idea that Derwin is dogging her out. So Melanie was like, oh no, you're a liar, Janae. I know you've been in the court. What are you talking about? Because she just couldn't believe that Derwin would just been a lying freaking fool like that, but he is. So when Melanie goes home, here come Derwin again. Oh my God, the courthouse is he's like a super liar. Like he comes to, oh my God, the courthouse is so difficult, and there's no parking, there's no valet, I have to walk, and then the bailiff is like, he just told like 8 million lies in like rapid succession. So meanwhile, Melanie knows something is up because Janae done got a video of her. I should call her him because she's looking a little mannish. Anyway, but she got a video of Derwin, Janae, and the baby all playing and enjoying themselves or whatever, when Melanie has no idea. So Melanie busts Derwin out with the video, and Derwin is like, yo, I'm caught. Okay, So now that Derwin knows that he's caught, he go running over to Janae's house to yell at her for releasing the tapes for everybody and busting him out to his wife about him playing house with her. And then Janae plays that sad song. Now she's still in love with him. Now I was hoping that's not what it was, but I should have known that's what it is. Anyway, Janae's like, I was still in love with you, and you the one who was coming over here trying to play house with us, and why would you try to lead me on or whatever? And that's what you was doing and playing house. And Derwin did good acting. Like, he did really good acting. It was the first good acting of the program. I was really excited about. He did some good acting. He really looked sad, and his face fit the scene, which is very good because they haven't been able to get those two things to line up just yet, BT. But this time you did good. So anyway, Derwin and Janae, and then Derwin's like, yo, we're gonna go to the lawyers and get out the schedule worked out or whatever, because this sort of playing around behind his wife back stuff ain't gonna work out, right? Right. So then we go to Tasha and Terrence J again. So Tasha, oh Lord have mercy, Tasha made Terrence J. Tasha has this whole thing. She wants to ball, and she doesn't care if Terrence J. Is his name Terrence J on the show? She doesn't care if Terrence J. is going to tell her that she's being financially irresponsible or whatever. So then she must have had a change of heart or whatever. She realized she was going to be a lonely old beady if she didn't do something. So Terrence J's over at her house, and instead of going to go out to eat, she made him breakfast for dinner. So she's talking about how she slaved it over a hot stove with bacon, and because he's supposedly only 10 years old in the thing, he's sitting around playing video games. Now, I don't know about you, but I hate to see a grown-ass man sitting on the couch playing video games. You ain't got a book you could read. You ain't got shit you could do. Uplift some kids. Just do something, sitting around play video games. So he's playing video games, and Tasha's like, oh, poor me. How you got me slaving over a hot stove, and now you're not even going to eat the phone. And then he sort of goes off on her. And he actually did good as well. It was finally some good writing and some good acting that had actually coincided. He said that she didn't need to be always screaming and hollering because he knew that she was there. So she needed to just calm down and sit down and realize that he loved her. So then it was like a revelation that they now love each other and everything was okay between them. Now, can you hear my daughter yelling, Mommy, Mommy? I'll be back. Why don't you just go to sleep? She in there say, Mommy, I'm cold. She said, Mommy, I'm hot. I said, take off the blanket. She said, but then I'm going to be cold. Lord Jesus. So then Derwin finally comes home, and when he come home, he walk in the door, and Melanie's sitting there eating, and she doing that angry eating. You know the angry eating you do when you're pissed off about something. She was just really upset. So when he walks in, the first thing she says before he can say hi or anything, she's like, did you sleep with Janae? Yes, I definitely agree with her asking it, because I would have asked that as well, but I wouldn't. Anyway, so when she asked that, he said no, he didn't sleep with Janae or whatever. And then she said, okay, well, I made you some dinner, eat your dinner or whatever. So he come over there, he's like, did you spit in my food? And I would have definitely, I would have got with him. But then he says, no, he's like, he was sorry or whatever. And then she's like, okay, well, she forgives him because they've been going to church, and now she's sanctified and blood, dipped in the blood of Jesus, so she will forgive him that quickly. Now, this is the problem with BET and this program as of late. They are tying up these ends so quickly. It's like everything got to end up in a cute little package at the end of the show. Now, you know good and well, if your man, your husband, is all hugged up in the, I'm not gonna call it hugged up. He all up in the house with his baby mama and the baby, and has been lying to you for months, about weeks, days, I don't care, 2 minutes, have been lying to you about where he been, and he been at the house playing with her or whatever. You're not going to just walk him back in the house and say, well, I've been going to church, so everything's okay now, let's just eat. Now, she was still pissed off, but it was just sort of like, if we're going to make it work, then we just have to forgive each other. I get it. We're going to forgive each other, but I think I'm going to definitely go off on you at least 4, 5, 50, 11 times before we can move to I made your ass a plate. Something about it just don't feel right. Their chemistry is off. The whole thing is bootleg. I'm just really hoping and praying that they will fix it up. But I'm going to say that this episode was I'll give it 2 Sister TVs out of 5. But no, I'll give it 3 Sister TVs out of 5. The other ones were negative Sister TVs. I was just too through. Anyway, that's your recap. The game was just on. This is your girl Sister TV. Now, if ain't nobody told you, I already told you, pause this damn video and go look in the mirror and tell yourself. But if ain't nobody else told you today, brother and sister, I love you. It's your girl Sister TV. I'm doing the game recaps. Love ya. Bye.